The wall gets harder for modern women every day.
Being in your late 20s is so hard. I've seen a few people talk about this and just kind of the loneliness of your late 20s, and especially people who are kind of in this middle stage of, hey, I'm not married, don't have kids, not in a relationship, but I'm also not going out every weekend. I spend a lot of my time by myself. I live alone. I come home from work, I go to the gym, I spend my evenings alone. And on the weekend lately, I feel like I've been so exhausted that all I want to do is like spend time by myself. And I'm struggling with questions about work. You know, am I passionate about what I'm doing? Am I good at it? Should I be traveling right now and not working? Or should I be trying to work remotely so that I can travel? Like, there's just all these things that I think I would like to experience. And it's hard to know, well, when am I going to experience?
Let me tell you the truth about these older men still on the market. These guys already have children, marriages, and probably a divorce or two under their belt. If they're back out there looking for a second wife, they're not interested in wasting time. But here's the thing. Some women in their mid-30s can't handle this reality. They complain that only older men are showing interest, and they find it gross. These same women who spent their 20s hopping from one guy to the next, living for the thrill of the moment, and now they're standing around confused, wondering what went wrong. They didn't plan for this. They thought they had all the time in the world to chase fun, ignoring that their window of opportunity was shrinking with every year. And now, after spending their prime years jumping from fling to fling, they're shocked to find themselves in this situation. They didn't expect that the high-value men they once overlooked would be out there choosing younger, more desirable women. And the men their age. Most of them are already settled or not interested in the high-maintenance attitude these women bring to the table. It's almost like they're refusing to accept the consequences of their own choices. You can't spend your 20s playing the field, thinking you'll always have options, and then suddenly get upset when you're 35, and the game's changed. Older men with kids and life experience, that's what's left on the market for them, and they can't stand it. Meanwhile, these men are just being practical. They know what they want. They've been through the drama, and they're not going to chase after women who wasted their best years. These women thought things would always go their way, but reality has a funny way of catching up. Now they're repulsed by the only men interested in them, not realizing they're reaping what they sowed. They missed their chance with the high-value men they once could have had, and now they're stuck trying to figure out why things didn't turn out the way they planned. The truth is, they played the game wrong, and now they don't like the outcome.
Can someone explain me here in Melbourne how to date? I'm completely lost. I have a date with a guy. I just had a date with a guy. We just drink one glass together. We had a super good conversation. The guy is really interesting. The first sight, sorry, it was definitely not my type, but really charming. And I'm interested in him. And I don't know if I interest him or not. He just told me, I'm sorry, you're freezing, I will let you go back home. I'm so happy to meet you and we'll keep definitely in touch. But I really have to take that call from London because he's working for a big firm. And I don't know if I will have some news or not. You know, in France, when you're dating...
It's hilarious, isn't it? How some women are absolutely shocked that men are the ones doing the selecting now. These women can't handle the reality that they're not being pursued the way they once were, and it's a hard pill to swallow. They're used to being chased, but now the tables have turned, and men, especially those with options, are the ones calling the shots. The natural order of relationships has shifted, and it's no longer in their favour. What they don't get is that men have wised up. The guys who've been burned by women, whether emotionally or physically, now see things clearly. They're not out here chasing just anyone anymore. They understand that women in their 30s are no longer the ones with the upper hand. They're the ones scrambling for a high-value man. And that small percentage of men who know their worth, those are the ones women are now desperate to date. Women thought they'd always have the pick of the lot, but reality is setting in. It's not the entire male population chasing them anymore. It's a select few who know their value and who are now the ones making the choices. The tables have turned, and women are finding out the hard way that the rules of the game have changed, and they're not playing from the same position of power they once had.
I'm just saying, do you think that it should be mandatory at birth?
You've been in situations where you're a married person and like you want a DNA test because you think someone's been unfaithful?
Well, I haven't personally, but I'm sure that there are a lot of people. As a matter of fact, 40% of DNA tests result in the man not being the father. So that's almost half.
Are you like
You are not
trying to attack women right now, saying you're out here doing something you shouldn't be doing? Let's all test and make sure I'm the one who should be paying child support.
yes.
Well, I'm not trying to attack women. I'm just trying to, make sure that we have the right person on the birth certificate.
I don't think a birth certificate is that important when you're talking about lots of women who go in as single parents all the time.
Well,
They always forget about the single fathers, don't they? DNA testing only scares these 3A4s, because deep down, they know everyone's had a turn. This one woman tried to spin the conversation, claiming this guy was attacking women just for asking if DNA testing should be legal. Seriously, if you were paying attention, even her own friend was looking at her like she'd lost her mind. The truth is, DNA tests don't lie, and that's exactly why it makes some of these women nervous, because it shines a light on what they're trying to keep hidden.
This is a question for the men. I just want to know, how can some men literally, just straight up lie, just straight up completely lie and make you think that you're the only person and you're the only one, and that they're crazy about you and that you're literally perfect, only to get played, only to find out that they're just with everybody else. You're not the only one.
The old school.
There's no explanation that can ever truly validate that kind of behaviour. But let's be honest, it's happening to both men and women right now. The thing is, men are sitting there, scratching their heads, wondering how some women can pull the same stunts they accuse men of and think it's perfectly fine. We're living in a world where the dating market is a complete disaster, and honestly, women are making it worse than ever. They're out here dating multiple people at the same time, acting like it's no big deal, as if loyalty and commitment have gone out of style. But let's get something straight, not all men are playing this game. There are still plenty of men who want genuine relationships, men who want to build something real. The problem is, they don't know who to trust anymore. The dating scene has become so toxic that these guys are left questioning everyone's intentions. You've got women juggling several guys at once, and the men who are serious about commitment are left standing there, wondering if they'll ever find someone who values what they're bringing to the table. It's a chaotic situation. While women are out here playing games, thinking they can have it all, the men who are ready to settle down are stuck in a dating world that's full of deceit, manipulation, and zero accountability. It's not that men don't want relationships anymore, it's that they're finding it harder to trust anyone when the dating scene feels like a battleground. And honestly, who can blame them? When you're surrounded by chaos, it's tough to know who's genuine and who's just playing the field.
There's a reason why I say when a man hurts, he truly does hurt. And not a lot of women are aware of the fact that they have this much of an impact on a guy when they hurt them. Guys are very good when it comes to hiding their emotions, because, guys are taught to not really show them. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that they're non-existent, okay? It's still there, it still hurts, and if anything, I think a guy hurts worse than us females because of how much they hold in. And it hurts even worse when a female fucks them over or breaks their heart. Listen, you want to talk about heartbreak? Watch a guy go through shit like that. I kid you the fuck not. That shit, it breaks my own heart, having to see a guy go through that. And it's because when a man loves you, he loves you with his entire heart, his soul, his mind, his being. And when he gets fucked over by somebody that he gave everything to, y'all don't realize how deeply...
It's honestly pathetic to see these 35-year-old women still out there partying and clubbing like they're in their 20s. The few women who actually had kids, yeah, they're no longer welcome in that social circle. Because, apparently, being a responsible adult doesn't fit the party lifestyle. And what's even more revolting is these women hitting up cougar clubs, desperately trying to hook up with 25-year-old guys. These young men. They're only looking to get laid, and it completely shatters the self-esteem of these women. But here's the thing, they don't even care. They just want to keep the party going a little longer, clinging to whatever attention they can get from young, handsome men before reality hits and they've got nothing left to offer. And it's almost like they can't face the fact that time has moved on, so they're out here chasing validation from guys half their age, guys who couldn't care less about them beyond a quick fling. But instead of waking up and realising they're not in their prime anymore, they keep pushing it, desperate for that last bit of attention, before middle age comes crashing down on them.
The reason dating isn't fun anymore is because you're not having fun. The number one complaint I see from women when it comes to like men is, men aren't valuing me, they're not treating me right. I get it. Men suck sometimes. Everybody sucks. Stop taking them seriously. I started having the easiest time when I went into dating, and I'm not dating. I'm just having fun. And I'm not here for anything serious. I'm just having fun. My motto is, it's never serious until it is. For example, this is what I do. If I'm on a date and the guy's like, girl, I'm gonna make you my wife. I'm here for a good time, but I'm not gonna ruin it and be like, you have to work for this. You have to earn it. You need to earn shit. I'm not telling him that. I just simply look up with my pretty cute eyes and I'm like, okay. I'm gonna smile and I just have a good time and I just leave it alone. Cause I don't get serious. He's not gonna wife me up. He's not trying to wife me up. I don't give a shit. But in my head, it's never that serious. I don't care if a man has a ring and I'm not ready. It ain't that serious. It's never that serious. There's a guy, every 6 months, we meet up. He lives in New York, I live in LA. He comes to LA, we hang out for a day. We hang out for one day and I enjoy the out of his company, and then he leaves and we don't talk. 6 months, maybe I go to New York next time. And I'm like, hey, you in New York? And we have the time of our lives. But you know what it's not? It's not serious. And I genuinely like this guy, but like, husband, maybe later, But right now, what the is the rush? What's the rush? We're enjoying each other's time. Y'all just need to enjoy each other's time and stop trying to make it something. It doesn't have to be anything. We already know that obviously 99.999% of people, except one person, will be like your forever person. So everybody else, it's not serious. Stop taking it serious. Stop trying to make it to what it's not. It doesn't have to turn into a relationship. We could just have a good time.
I actually believe this girl when she says she thinks she's a 304. This is the mentality so many women have been fed: sleep around, do whatever you want, and when the time is right, you'll magically become a good wife. They seriously believe that's how it works, but guess what? It doesn't. These women genuinely think that the men who hit them up every 6 months for a quick fling are going to wife them up later down the line. She thinks just because she likes him, eventually he'll settle down with it. But let's be real, I highly doubt that. Maybe if the guy has zero self-respect. But that's what these women are listening to. Then, fast forward to their 30s, and they're sitting around wondering why there are no good men left. Well, after spending their 20s getting pounded by every guy in sight, they're shocked to find out that no high-value man wants anything to do with them. It's insane how delusional they've become.
Ladies, chivalry is absolutely dead. I've got female clients coming up to me telling me that men's dating behavior has changed, that they are no longer offering to pick them up, helping them in their jackets, or doing anything that a gentleman would do. And on top of that, most men do not want to commit towards a serious relationship. All that men are saying nowadays on dating apps is, hey, you want to Netflix and chill at mine? Or, hey, you want to hang out later? I'll come to yours. Whose fault is that? That is absolutely 100% our fault. That is purely women's fault. If you're going to their house after just a couple of days or a couple of weeks and doing what you gotta do, that is not proper dating behavior. Women make it way too easy for men nowadays to simply get laid. We are coming over to their house like a free pizza for them to enjoy. Who wants to put in effort for a free ordered pizza? Nobody, right? I have a client who told me that he spent the night at her house, they did what they gotta do. In the morning, he had to leave a little bit earlier than she did. What did she do? She made him breakfast. Why are you doing that? What has he put on the table? For what are you doing that? You are doing that because you're building on potential and hoping that things might change. You're thinking to yourself, if I treat him the way I want to be treated, he will start understanding that I am girlfriend material. You're thinking, if I have the best sex in the world with him, he will start committing more.